Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Chit Chat Show. If you're new here, my name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking Everyday and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my co-host Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. Good day, Mr. Stephen. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Mr. Ken. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's
Good.
sunny out. It's garbage day. It's an awesome day here.
Huh.
We have
Well,
an
yeah.
awesome show planned for you. Sorry, I cut you off. We have an awesome show for you. We're going to be chatting about a bunch of stuff, and you're probably wondering what that is, Stephen. No?
Yeah, kind
All
of.
right.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about ray tracing and how are people actually using it. We're going to be talking about $400,000 skin that was sold. We're going to talk about,
CSGO, just to be
yes,
clear.
yeah, not like my skin.
Yeah, just to be clear.
We're going to talk about the print screen button for Windows 11. And we've got some Samsung stuff with Bing and Google. There's some little bit of fear there, as well as Proton. So we've got a good show for you. Make sure if you are watching on the replay, there'll be links in the description if you do want to jump to any of those parts in the show. But yeah, that's what we're chatting about today. You have a good weekend?
I think so. Again, every time you ask me, I can't remember the weekend, but I'm guessing it was good. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
Hello, Cody. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. We
Yo.
appreciate it. Yeah, if you're watching us today, make sure you drop comments in there. We like to incorporate you in the show, and we maybe can't bring all of them into the show, but we do like to kind of highlight some of the comments during our stream. Steven, what happens at 100 subscribers?
Yeah. So
I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time.
we have. It's been taking a while. At 100 subscribers, we are going to be flipping the switch on our 720p feed to a 1080p feed. So we'll be at full HD at 100 subscribers. So if you'd like to help us make that push, feel free to subscribe.
Yes. And we're really pushing you because we're 3 away and we want to stream to you guys in 1080p. Mm-hmm. It's already ready. We're paying for it. It's ready to go. It's just on you guys now to just hit the subscribe button. Get us there.
Come
on. I see 2 of you out there that are probably already subscribed. Awesome. You like my new shirt? Buc-ee's.
Texas? I do. It suits you so well. Yeah.
If you're not sure what Buc-ee's is, it's a gas station. There's lots of them in Texas, and you'll see them in Florida and other states as well. So I was just in Texas, and I'm like, I can't leave without buying a Buc-ee's shirt.
I would have no idea what that is unless I knew you.
Well, every time I'm near a Buc-ee's, it's a must stop. Their coffee's cheap. They've got I think they have like the biggest convenience store for a gas station in the world or something like that. This is their website, where the beaver never sleeps.
Is it a 24-hour gas station?
Oh, it must be. Like, it's huge. It's huge. They've got like souvenirs. They make jerky. They make like sandwiches, breakfast things. People are lining up for their breakfast thing. They roast nuts in there. They've got everything.
Cody's asking how much the shirt is.
This was like $17.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, and then they had like other ones that were cheaper, like $13 or something like that. So yeah, like if you're actually wondering how big it is, it's big.
Yeah,
like the store itself is like a grocery store maybe, or a little bit bigger, and then they've got like hundreds of pumps, and some of them have car washes, and yeah, they're just massive. So if you're watching on one of the streams on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Spotify, yeah, you can see that. So sorry about those of you on your podcasts. You'll have to come check it out on YouTube, or just do a quick search for Buc-ee's, and you'll see that it is big.
Yep.
So, and I know that's not really tech related, but.
And they didn't sponsor this episode, but
No, they didn't. Buc-ee's, if you're out there and you would like to sponsor us, or at least tell your employees to subscribe so we can go in high def, that would be awesome.
We'll take $100,000 right now to talk about you every.
So if you're in Texas, make sure to stop by Buc-ee's and grab a coffee. The thing is, their coffee was cheap. Like a jumbo coffee was like $1.50, and it was actually really good coffee. Same with soda. It was like massive.
Do you have coffee this morning, by the way?
I
Cheers.
do, yes.
Cheers. I have
Cheers.
St. Louis this morning, and you have Houston.
Yes, I bought this on our Texas trip as well. So
Wow.
all my souvenirs are out today.
Somebody travels.
Well, this is one trip, but
yeah, that's fair.
Awesome. You were saying your dogs might be barking during this episode?
Yeah, I might have a barking or whiny dog in the background. So just ignore the animal in the background noises as much as we can today.
My dog has taught himself how to sneak into my office here and leave all his hair in my office. So he only comes in here when I'm not around. But the other day I caught him. I was sitting here working away really quietly, and then all of a sudden the door opens, and he was shocked.
Because you were in there.
Yeah, it was like, whoops. I'd love him to be in here. I just don't want all his hair around all my tech and stuff because he's really shitty.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I love your dog.
Pepsi the puppy. Well, he's getting old. He's really old. But.
Yeah. He's a cutie.
Well, why don't we dive right into it?
Sure.
Dive into it. Dive right into it. We're almost 7 minutes into this, but let's talk about ray tracing.
Sure.
Like Star Wars ray tracing, shooting each other with. I don't even know Star Wars terms, so I probably shouldn't do that.
GPU ray tracing, graphical ray tracing. Yes.
All right. So there's this article that we found on ARS Technica. It's talking about the amount of people that use ray tracing and DLSS with their 40 series cards or 30 series cards or even 20 series cards. And when we were looking at this article, I was actually surprised at the numbers.
Right. Me too.
And I think other people are as well, of the amount of people not using it. And then I sat here and I'm like, well, I understand, because there's times where I probably don't have it on too.
Yeah. Now, record, you have a 30 series card, correct?
I do have a 30 series card, yeah. So
yeah,
they're saying 83% of 40 series cards, or gamers with 40 series cards, turn on ray tracing. 56% of 30 series and 43% of 20 series.
Right.
So
now I wanted to know the 10 series one. I know it's technically not officially supported, but some games you can. Anyway, that's irrelevant.
Anyways. Well, I was thinking about it and I'm like, I understand why, because sometimes I won't have it on or whatever. It's because I just sit down and I don't do a ton of gaming, but when you sit down and just start playing, it's easy to forget about to turn on.
Yeah.
If it's not already turned on for that game. So
and to be honest, you probably wouldn't even notice that much of a difference anyway visually.
Well, that's just it. It's like, I don't know. It's just really easy to forget. I did see a tweet the other day, and I think I was telling you about this. It was a guy tweeting about how he had his 40 series card and 4K gaming, 144 hertz or whatever, and he's like, "This is fun, but I had just as much fun in 1080p gaming with lower settings or whatever." And it's true. It's like, I mean, yes, it's better graphics or upscaling or whatever, but sometimes you just get so immersed in the game you don't even notice the difference.
Yeah. And really, for quite a while, the increased graphical power hasn't changed gameplay mechanics in general. For the most part. Ray tracing technically could add a bit of a nuance with reflections and stuff, but most of the time, the improvement in performance just won't add any more gameplay mechanics and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's the reality of it. We're far enough along with technology that most things that developers want to do, they can do a lot of the stuff. So
yeah, problem is, if I'm just like, oh, I have 15 minutes, I want to play a game, I'll more likely play Fall Guys than something more hardcore. So it doesn't really matter anyway.
Do you want Fall Guys with ray tracing? Come on.
Fall Guys with ray tracing. To be honest, lately, if I had some extra time to play games, I've been playing on my Switch. So
Which definitely does not have ray tracing.
there you go. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much time in a day, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Once you get playing, you don't even, as long as the game looks good enough. Like
Mhm.
even I'm kind of a graphical snob, I would say, in a way. But even then, I'm like, when I look between the difference between ray tracing and just other techniques that can kind of replicate it that are not ray tracing, there's not a huge difference. I think a lot of people, there is a difference,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's enough that the average gamer is even going to always care. So
There's a couple things I want to say. First of all, I want to go over this chart, and then I want to say something. So let's just go over this chart. This is a 40 series gamers chart, so a 40 series GPUs. So again, 83% have ray tracing turned on, 79% have DLSS turned on.
yeah.
But these other two I wanted to talk about. 62% have a 144 hertz plus or higher refresh rate monitor,
Mm-hmm.
which that one doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
But 28% play in 4K,
Right.
which I'm surprised that because of how expensive like some of those 40 series cards are, I'm actually surprised that more people don't have a 4K monitor.
Same. That one
So
probably is the most surprising.
yeah, I understand the 144 hertz one, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, going kind of back 2 minutes, was graphics. So think about it this way: when maybe you have a nice TV at home and you're watching it, and it looks good, and then you go to Best Buy or somewhere and you're TV shopping, you only realize that your TV might suck until you look at other TVs.
Yeah.
Like, or they're side by side. When you're at home, like maybe the cheapy TV looks great, or even at Best Buy it looks great until you look at the next one. Like you kind
Yeah.
of get, I don't know, you kind of get consumed by what you have, and you forget about if it looks bad or not.
Yeah.
It's why, like, I'm gonna date myself here. I remember my dad had like a black and white TV. You could still watch, and he'd have it up and running once in a while, and it was like you could watch a show in black and white, and it didn't actually bother me.
Right.
It was like one of those like mini ones, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like it didn't bother me. You forget about that. There's no colors. You forget about, or even if you go watch an old show that's in black and white,
Yeah.
like it doesn't bother me
It's
that much.
fine.
So
You're not losing much. You're losing color information, but do you really need it? Even I
yeah,
know even color is a luxury a lot of the time.
yeah. Until it's side by side with something else, and then you're like, this sucks.
One
Oh,
now,
but you think about it, like if you go play your Nintendo, it's like you forget about graphics
you know where I
in
don't
a way.
forget. I never liked Atari graphics. I could never get into it.
No, that's true.
When it was
That's
the
true.
beep and the boop and the squares and the when am I moving and but once the graphics got to a certain fidelity, it was kind of like
I guess I feel like more what I'm saying is I enjoy Super Mario Brothers 3, like you go and
yeah.
play that game. It's a fun game, even though it's graphically nowhere compared to today, right?
Are you saying it doesn't need ray tracing?
I
Are
prefer
you
not.
saying it doesn't need DLSS super sampling
Although Nintendo, if you're out there, you could remaster it
with
for
ray
the Switch.
tracing? Well, now I want to see Mario 64 with ray tracing. That's the one I want to see that happen on the Switch. Um,
Yeah.
Something to note from this article too, they brought up was these are stats I think that NVIDIA reported on, and how many. So with like for example ray tracing, this statistic, how much of this number is people that just turned it on to be like, oh, that's pretty, that's nice, and go back and turn it off again. So
Well, now I'm like, are people concerned that it's using too much of their PC resources?
no, I think the main concern would be I'm dipping below 60 FPS here and there. I'd rather just have the constant like 60,
Oh,
120
yeah.
plus frame rate. I don't need that fancy shadow effect for that loss in 60 FPS. I think
Mhm.
it's just I want to maintain always above 60 or 120, 144
Yeah.
hertz. Because you have 62% of people with 144 hertz monitors. They may want to reach that 144 FPS, which is going to
Mhm.
be hard to do with ray tracing on. So
That's true.
I mean, then that makes sense. DLSS brings it back up and all that, but so the question is with these statistics, how much of this information is people who just tried it for a little bit and turned it back off?
Yeah. No, for
You
sure.
know,
For
because
sure.
technically, have you turned on ray tracing?
I have.
And do you usually keep it on?
Well, I never check the settings, so I don't know if it's on or off. Like it's
Yeah.
if I go and play, I'll play Battlefield occasionally or whatever, and um, well, I don't even know, does it have ray tracing?
I think Battlefield 5 does, I think.
I think so. Yeah. So it's like honestly, if I go play, I'll just go play because I only have half an hour or an hour or whatever, and
Yeah.
then I'll start playing and then I'll forget, and I'm like, well, I don't want to check it now. So that's the problem. Like if I was playing all day, yeah, I'd go check it. But if it's like
Yeah.
you're just trying to have a quick match, usually I'm already annoyed because it needs an update by the time I go back to play. So I've been waiting for it to update, and then you know, waiting for the update before you can launch your match, and you spent your whole time updating. Isn't that the most annoying thing? You haven't played a game in a while, and you're like, I have an hour. I'm gonna go play this game.
And half an hour is
Update,
updating.
yeah, update required.
It's okay. I just don't play games anymore, really, mostly. So it's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Life hack: don't play games.
yeah.
Just
All
buy
right,
the GPU and let it sit there.
that's true.
Anyway, sorry, carrying on.
Well, GPUs are useful for other things besides gaming,
They are. They
like
are.
video editing and stuff,
YouTube videos.
YouTube videos. All right. Interesting. An ultra rare CS:GO gun reportedly sells for over $400,000, and not only that, there was a knife, I believe, sold with it. So the whole deal was over $500,000.
Yeah, this is the thing, eh? Like, did you know that you can make money off of CS:GO and get into a new whole market?
I did actually.
Have you considered it?
Well, when I was reading this article, I was considering it.
It's like, what am I
um,
doing? Why aren't I in this?
no, I know my boys have been into like this a little bit, but not like that market, like a few dollar item market.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't. I didn't know they go for this high. I know stuff sells for a lot, but this is a lot, a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot.
So it was an AK-47. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. 661 ST. Dot dot dot. And he was said it's a broker, I believe, that they were selling it through.
Yeah.
For
Zipple,
it was
Zipel.
what's that?
A guy by the name, at least on Twitter, it's Zipel, or I don't know how we pronounce Zipple,
Yeah,
maybe Zipple or something like that.
yeah. So the AK-47 and a Kara Mbit or a Karambit
And then you can
387.
see
I'm
it.
not sure. Yeah.
And also on there
So
is there's 4 stickers applied to the gun as well, which
yes.
apparently were from a tournament years ago, and there's only like less than 30 of them out there that they know of, or
Yeah.
something. So
Well,
4 of them are on there, and they go for like I think they said those go for like 60,000 each alone.
okay. And the gun was there wasn't very many of those, I don't think, as well.
No, no,
So the combined sale was over $500,000.
isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I it doesn't surprise me with the whole digital world that we're in right now with everything from whatever
See,
Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, or um, you know,
this seems more like what NFT. So I'm not a fan of NFTs, but this
Yeah.
seems more like what NFTs should be. This actually has more substance to me than what an NFT is.
Well, it's a digital. At least this is a digital item. I don't know.
Exactly. It's tied to an economy that
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Like this actually, if NFTs were actually this, it's kind of in that same ballpark. But you get to actually go into the game and have this really cool skin, and you're like one of the few people to have it. So that's the thing.
So was I understanding this article correctly? Like it said the gun was in good condition. Like in CS:GO, do your guns wear out?
No, I think it's a misunderstanding. Maybe
Okay.
I'm not sure. No, they don't wear out.
No,
I think they
wouldn't
were
that
just,
be cool though? If there's wear and tear on your items?
and then your $500,000 gun becomes useless. Is that what
Well,
you're
if someone shoots through it.
saying? That's not what's happening. CS:GO does not have that. I
Well,
think
they
they were
should now.
describing. I think they were describing the style of the gun, how it aesthetically,
Okay.
how it's styled.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. No, they don't. There's no wear and tear on
Okay.
items like that.
Okay, so I just misunderstood that. But that
Yeah,
would be
it's
kind of
just
cool.
it's
I
just
think
a
that would
skin.
be cool if you use a gun for too long. Like you would earn currency in the game and you use it too long, it gets worn out and you have to go buy a new one. It gets rusty if you don't clean it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that don't like that. I'm not against it, but I'm thinking of like Zelda Breath of the Wild players getting frustrated over like their broken swords and things. I haven't played the game, but I hear people getting frustrated over that.
I hate when your shield gets stolen in the Zelda 1 by those
You're right. That's true because you don't get it back.
No. You just bought it and then that thing eats it.
That's like Dark Souls territory right there. That's like OG Dark Souls. I forgot about that. You don't get it back.
No.
You have to go buy it again. So apparently, yeah. Now I want to go talk about that, but we're going to talk about this. Apparently, so they did announce. Valve did say that these skins in this economy is going to be supported by Counter-Strike 2 coming out.
Yes, I forgot about that. So Counter-Strike 2, I think it's coming out this summer, if I'm not mistaken. So if you have skins, or buy skins or whatever, you're going to be able to carry them forward into Counter-Strike 2, which is an important feature.
So that whole economy, so that's caused a resurgence in CS:GO.
Well, if anything, it'll increase the value, in my opinion, because all of a sudden you'll have people playing Counter-Strike 2, and they're like, "Hey, where'd they get these cool skins?" And they came from the original
CS:GO.
Counter-Strike or whatever. Yeah,
and you can't get them from Counter-Strike 2, and that creates that economy of rare items and stuff. So that's cool. Seems like a good move by Valve.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
It's weird, but I like it. Me too. All right, let's jump over to Windows 11.
Yes.
I know this is just a small thing, but I thought it was kind of interesting and shows how things are changing. Windows 11 beta, so this hasn't been released yet, changes what the print screen button does after 33 years. Does your keyboard have a print screen button, Stephen?
It does. It says print screen.
I'm just looking at mine. I think mine actually has a tiny picture of a camera on it.
Well, that's not very clear what it does.
No, but it also doesn't have a Windows icon on it, a Windows button on it.
Because if a key had a camera on it, does that turn my webcam on?
Well, I think it's meant to take a picture of the screen, is what the idea is. But instead of a Windows icon on my keyboard, it just says start. So I don't know. Anyway, I think it's because this keyboard maybe is designed for Windows and Mac.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget Linux. The penguin key.
The penguin key.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, sidetrack. Yeah. So now what's happening? What changes?
Well, now what's happening? So print screen. Originally, you'd push the print screen button, and it was designed to send the text to your printer, and then it switched over to where it would do a screenshot. But that was kind of turned off by default now, so you would have to turn it back on.
Oh. On Windows
in
11,
Windows.
top, I do.
Yeah, I believe in Windows 11. And then now in the beta, they're switching it to your print screen will open up your uh, how am I losing this? Your snipping tool.
Okay, yeah,
So I use honestly, I use the snipping tool a ton.
you do, eh?
Yeah, for if I just want to send myself a snippet of something for to remember later, or
Yeah,
um, I'll use it for cutting stuff out for when I use Canva, or not necessarily Canva, but if I like to put it in Canva and cut out backgrounds or different things like that, I use the snipping tool for screenshots quite a bit.
yeah,
Um, I think it's just kind of a progressive thing. I think they're trying to, okay, this is how what people are using the most, and
yeah,
um, apparently though you will be able to revert back to the old where it just takes a screenshot and puts it in your clipboard if you
yeah.
want. Because I have used that a fair bit in the past as well, but not really. Maybe over the last year or two.
So my computer I'm on right now, if I hit print screen, it does. I have 3 monitors set up. It'll just straight up take a screenshot of all 3 and put them into a single image. Um,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that's currently, and I don't know if I had changed, but I'm on Windows 10.
Okay.
Um, so thinking about, yeah,
Cody seems to be okay with this.
I'm okay with that too. Except I wish there was a more clear shortcut. Maybe there is. I was trying to before the show figure it out how to do specifically. So I have my 3 monitors. How would I just do just a sprint a screenshot of just the one monitor? Like I'd like to do like some kind of like
Oh,
combo
okay.
key for a specific monitor, just because I don't always want all my 3 monitors snipped or shit put together.
That's true, but in the snipping tool, yeah, you're right. It's not a shortcut in the snipping tool, but it
Yeah, and
allows you to do a screen grab.
I don't want to have to open up snipping tool to do a screenshot of my screen. It should just be like a key combo, like Control Alt 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah.
It's not like
Well, there is a combo for the snipping tool. It's Windows Shift and S, I believe. I think it
yeah,
says here. Problem
yeah,
is when I go to do that, then I forget. So it's just faster for me to just type in snipping tool at the bottom.
yeah. That's true. If I
Or
go to snipping tool right now, it does have full screen mode, right? Yeah, it has a full screen snip, and then you pick your screen. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You know what? That seems to be the best all around. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
So
I'm cool with it. As long as you can revert it and go back.
yeah,
If you're fine, if that's something you need,
yeah,
then it's good. So yeah, so we'll see that coming. I mean, Windows 11 has been doing a lot of updates, like little new features and things lately, um, like tabs in your file explorer, or screen recording in the snipping tool. That kind of stuff has
yeah,
been added. So they're working on all that.
yeah.
So cool. Well, let's dive into the next one.
Yeah.
Panic. There's panic out there.
Panic at where?
Panic at Google. Samsung is considering dumping Google search for Bing and ChatGPT. Now, is this just a ploy because they're working in negotiations for what that looks like, or are they actually considering doing it? Who knows? And then later this year, um, there's also Apple's negotiation with Google for having Google on Apple devices, so on iPhone. So that'll be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, there has been a huge resurgence of Bing, and because of the whole Chat GPT thing and how it's incorporated into it. Um, so I think it'll be interesting because I believe did it say Google pays as much as 3.5 billion per year for Google to be the default search engine on Samsung's, and they pay Apple as much as 20 billion per year to be their default search.
It's not a little money. It's quite a bit.
No, and so that's a lot of money. So there's some fear in that they might switch, and Google's what's actually happened. Alphabet loses 55 billion in market value. I believe that was on Monday after Samsung reportedly considers going with Bing. So
Wow.
4%. That's a lot.
That's $55 billion based off speculation.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we've seen that speculation, like when Elon Musk will tweet something out about Bitcoin or whatever it is, like the stocks, there's like movement in stocks just by what these big companies or large people are saying. So,
Right.
It'll be interesting to see where this goes, and then after that, where does it go with Apple devices as well?
If I can I give my speculation, just my hunch.
Yeah, and it might be the same hunch I have. So
I think Samsung's going to stick with Google,
okay,
and so my personal opinion on this, my preference is I don't care for the AI generation chat stuff, and I think I'm not saying that there's nothing there, but it feels like hype train. Everyone get on the AI hype train, and I just don't personally. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care. I'd rather continue to use Google. I don't want to use Bing.
Yeah. Google's stuff, is it called Google Bard or something, is coming soon as well. So that might be part of. I think that they'll go with Google personally. Could be totally wrong, but I think it's more of a negotiation tactic.
Yeah, right. It could bring down cost quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it gives them leverage if they say they're going to do that. So who knows? But then on a Samsung phone, there's commonly a folder on there that's full of Windows apps already when you get it. So, or Microsoft apps, I should say.
I would actually, if I was an investment, sorry, side note, if I had money to invest right now, I'd probably put it back into Google right now, as they devalue. If I know it's going to be a negotiation tactic, because they'll probably come right back up when Samsung says they're staying with them. Anyways, that would be my
We're not giving financial advice.
We're not, but if it was, we're definitely not.
If you personally, that's what you would consider.
Yeah, I should be careful what I say here. This is me being like, you know what? I think I would like not throw all my money into it, but like a bit of it. I'd be like, it's probably gonna come back up. Mm-hmm. So anyway, maybe I shouldn't say that
in here. Consult your financial advisor.
Yeah, please do. You can call my father. He actually is one, so just not me.
And that advice did not come from him.
No, it did not.
All right. Yeah. So, maybe we'll kind of keep track of that and see where it goes down the road in future episodes here as well. Let's jump into the last one. This is kind of interesting, and maybe I'll say what it is and then let you speak your mind. So Proton, the new Proton update gets 18 more Windows games running on Linux, including Chex Quest HD. So Proton is kind of the software that allows Windows games to be played on Linux, like Steam Decks and things like that. The interesting thing I think that I'm like, yeah, let's do that article was the whole Chex Quest HD thing.
Yeah, we've already talked about Chex Quest before.
Well, we did, and that's what made it kind of funny, because it's like, this is just a cereal box game.
It really is. It's dumb. It's not a great game, but I like it, and it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. Go
ahead.
Yeah. So with Proton 8.0, which is something that's relevant to me because I've been developing games for Steam, and so Proton is something I keep an eye on with. So it makes Windows games more compatible with Linux. Mm-hmm. So it is fun. Chex Quest, I believe it's the HD remake here, got included, which is, even the writer here, this article mentions that it was kind of surprised, being like, really? Chex Quest HD is one of the official ones they have added support for, which is funny, but it's also cool. Yeah. What more can I add to that?
Well, so it's a free download for Chex Quest on Steam and $5 on the Nintendo Switch. So if you do want to check it out.
Well, if you have a Steam Deck and you want to try out how well Proton works, because Chex Quest is a Windows only game. If you want to see how well that works, Chex Quest can be your benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
Now
does it have
something else.
ray tracing?
It does not have ray tracing. So what I will mention from the article too, Andrew mentions here that Proton 8.0 update requires a GPU with Vulkan 1.3. So it converts, Proton converts DirectX GPU calls into Vulkan support for the graphics library. It converts it so we can read it and do stuff. So you basically the best case scenario is if you have an Intel GPU from at least 2017, like a seventh generation core processor, or an AMD GPU from at least like 2016, so like a RX 470, RX 480, or on NVIDIA side at least like a GTX 750 Ti, kind of that 2014. So anything above that has support for converting over to like the 1.3 Vulkan library. Which is neat. It's a cool thing. This is very much on my radar to keep track of Proton stuff. More, not just because of Chex Quest, but for other reasons.
Chex Quest is more interesting to me than Proton.
So Proton is more interesting to me. So I actually have a game or two on Steam, which is Windows only. The one is only Windows only, but it actually will run on Proton. But
that should have been our poll question. What's more interesting, Chex Quest or Proton?
Proton.
Chex Quest.
we're different people. Yeah.
That's not our question of the day, but it should have been.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Any other thoughts on that?
That's probably enough. That's probably enough before I get like technical and down the rabbit hole of too much information
of Proton.
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron and Proton.
And Nerd Alert territory down there. So.
All right. Again, Stephen, what happens at 100 subscribers?
At 100 subscribers, we are looking to upgrade our 720p feed to a full 1080 HD feed. So if you guys would like to help support us, encourage us that way to flip the switch, you can subscribe. Jump
that's
over to YouTube.
That's 100 on YouTube. Sorry if you're watching somewhere else, but once we hit 100 on YouTube, we will flip that switch, because I am looking at the settings right now and my mouse is hovering over the button. It's hovering over the button right now, but sorry folks.
You only get standard HD, not full HD.
We're one button push away from being in HD. And you guys, come on.
This is tacky.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
Tell your mom.
Go onto your mom's account and get her to subscribe.
And all her Facebook friends.
Cody, yes, push the button. That's right. Push the button. Push the button.
The print screen?
Yeah. And a picture of us comes out your printer. All right. We will do our question of the day, and we kind of put this in as a placeholder and then forgot to come back to it. So, but here it is. Do you use ray tracing?
No.
No, because you don't have a GPU that, or do you have a GPU that handles it now?
I have a 1080 Ti. It can handle it, but they driver lock it. So there's actually some games you can. It can handle it kind of like a 2060.
Okay.
But they software lock it for a lot of stuff. But overall, no, I can't for most stuff.
Is this Cody teasing you?
No, Cody's laughing. He is an RX 480, which does not have ray tracing support.
Oh, gotcha. He's talking about himself.
But he has Vulkan 1.3 support for Proton 8.0. So
there you go. There you go. Do I use ray tracing? When I remember.
And even then, you probably don't even know if it's on or off.
Yeah, I'll have to go check the settings. I can't tell.
Which is telling. Isn't it amazing that you don't even know if it's on or off? How important is it?
Honestly, if I played more games and just had more time, I would know. But it's just, yeah.
I'd also be interested to know, anybody out there watching, what GPU are you using? What are you on? Are you on 20, 30, 40 series or one of the AMD series?
I currently for in this. Oh, I have two 3060s.
Right.
One which is just sitting on my shelf at the moment, and then I have an Intel Arc A770,
Yeah.
which is in this PC that I use, and then a 1060.
Oh, you still have a 1060.
Yeah, I bought
Right.
it when I was at your house
Right. And then your other computer.
in my old computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just waiting to see if some parts are warranted. That's why um, that I have. So hopefully I can repair and put together another PC with the 3060 that's just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah. Remember when
Should
we
I,
had
should I get it?
wasn't there a time you bought 3 PS3s? Or was it just two?
No, just two.
Just two.
Just sitting here randomly, which is frustrating that it's just sitting here randomly.
Yeah.
So.
Just yeah. Can I show you what I have laying around? If we can do a little GPU show and tell. Hold on.
A GPU show and tell. I know. I walked in there the other day, or like a month ago, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Look at this.
No, the other
guy.
one is the one I like, but yeah.
Oh, the other one. Okay, so first off, I have an RX 460, which is like not great, but better than nothing. That's my backup GPU. And this is the one I think you were wondering about.
Yeah, I just think that one looks cool.
Is it upside down? The Quadro 2000 NVIDIA 1 GB video card.
I love the fan on it. I think that's what I like about it.
I know. This is like. Anyways,
sorry for those of you on the podcast.
Sorry, we're just showing off our old GPUs and things. Okay, but one more. Sorry, hold on. One more. I'm going to show the worst GPU I may have in here right now. This thing, which I don't even know. This is like terrible. Yeah, but it's a GPU, and and I think it makes an awful whining noise when you try to. It's all like it's not good.
Do you know the specs?
This is probably going to be about like it might be about somewhere between 40 to 80 shader units, which should put it somewhere like it's probably like 15-20% of like a 1050 or something.
Okay.
Like it's going to be really, 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 really bad. Like I don't know how to try to gauge it, but it's like PS3, maybe GPU power kind of deal or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It's old. But anyhow, I'm trying to translate from nerd talk into like what would it be like.
Yeah. Can you explain to me, like I'm 3 years old, what this is like?
The worst part is the fan makes bad noise. It's not worth the whining and the bad performance. And I don't even know if it handles like YouTube video properly in codecs and encoders and decoders. So
that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can use it for decoration.
That's what I do.
All right. Well, why don't we wind it down there? This has been a fun show, a little bit more casual, I think. And yeah, it's been good. So we appreciate you all joining us today here at the Tech Chit Chat Show. And yeah, make sure again, hit the button, and we will come back to you soon with some more tech talk. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Sure, guys.
Ciao. We're still here.